I was going to do this entire intro with my shirt off, but then I realized I'd get compared to Hugh Jackman, and I just can't even compare. X-Men Days of Future Past is directed by Bryan Singer and stars basically almost everybody who's been in a previous X-Men movie. The main stars of the film are Hugh Jackman, Jennifer Lawrence, Michael Fassbender, James McAvoy, and Peter Dinklage. In the future, humans have made robots called Sentinels that are made to track and kill X-Men. So the last survivors of the wars going on with the Sentinels, which is most of the main characters from the original series, send Wolverine back in time to stop the Sentinels from ever being made. I'm not really sure I've ever been as excited for a movie release as I was for X-Men Days of Future Past. I had been waiting so long for this movie, and I just couldn't wait. I was like jumping up and down. I got to the theater about 15 minutes early. I mean, I was so excited to see this film. X-Men Days of Future Past absolutely delivered. I love this movie so much. The acting in this movie is perfect. Hugh Jackman gives the best performance he's ever given as Wolverine. Jennifer Lawrence is really good as Mystique once again. Michael Fassbender, who is my favorite actor working today, he doesn't have as much to do as he did in First Class, but he still gives a great performance. But truly, this film belongs to James McAvoy. His performance in this film could honestly be the greatest comic book performance ever. It is literally that good. Unlike most of the other Bryan Singer X-Men's, this had a much better story. I was really invested in the story, and I thought it played out really well. I was really impressed, and I want to see what Simon Kinberg will do next, besides obviously X-Men Apocalypse. Kinberg writing the Fantastic Four reboot is the only reason I have any interest in it. I did have one thing I was really nervous about going in. Bryan Singer directing. I wasn't really sure. He hadn't made a good movie in forever, but I am happy to say that he did a great job in this movie. This is the second best directed X-Men movie. I think that Matthew Vaughn did a bit better of a job of First Class, but I think that this movie is so well directed, much better than the first two X-Men. The big surprise for this film was the humor. I was laughing a lot for a Bryan Singer movie. I mean, the first two X-Men take themselves so freaking seriously. There's no humor really at all besides the one joke about, what do you want, to be wearing yellow whatever? It's like, that was so stupid though, and you wouldn't even get it if you weren't an X-Men comic book fan. Of course, I have to talk about it. Everybody thought Quicksilver was going to be terrible. I remember when those Empire magazines came out, and everybody on Twitter was like, oh, Quicksilver, he looks so bad. Quicksilver was amazing in this movie. Joss Whedon's Quicksilver is going to be, it's going to be hard to top this, because his scene, oh my god, there is a scene in the Pentagon of Quicksilver that literally is incredible. The musical cues is incredible. Every part about it is incredible. You literally could not, if you didn't have fun watching that scene, you were not human. It is so freaking good. I am ridiculously hard-pressed to find criticism with this movie. If I had to say anything, Halle Berry's in it. That is a huge problem. She is absolutely terrible as Storm. I hate her as Storm. And when she got stabbed, which is not a spoiler, it's in the trailer, I was so freaking happy. I literally cheered in the middle of the theater. It was amazing. If I had one actually reasonable complaint with this film, it's that they kind of kill off most of the side characters from X-Men First Class that were so much fun. And as a huge fan of X-Men First Class, I actually like it slightly better than this movie. That was just kind of disappointing, but that's basically it. This movie is incredible. I was ridiculously excited for this movie. I couldn't believe how excited I was for it, and it completely delivered. I saw it for about 4 times in theater, which is the most I've seen any movie in a theater because I had to pay for my own tickets. So basically, I'm going to give this an A. I love this movie. I just can't give it an A+. I gotta save those A+s for, like, divine films, but this film is my favorite. It's my favorite film of the year so far. It is so good. Of course, I do want to hear from you guys. I guess you can say you didn't like the film, but I don't even know if you're human if you don't. Sorry, that was mean. And if you like this video, you can subscribe to my channel and never miss another movie review. Thanks for watching, guys.
Excuse me, baby.